Finally, let's look at how much we really see clearly of that which is before us. If you were to stand before a group of people, you might well presume you see something like this, the way a camera sees. You think you are seeing all the faces at once, but you aren't. Your eyes and even your head will be flitting and turning rapidly across the faces in the group, and at any one fraction of a moment, you can only see a small part of the overall picture or view. In the 60s, a Russian scientist named Alfred A. Yarbus was able to reveal the rapid movements of the eye, or saccades and microsaccades, by affixing a mirror on the retina of a subject's eye and firing a laser or focused light into the eye while the subject viewed a picture, presumably with their other eye, but both eyes work together, right? The laser was reflected from the retina and bounced back onto a photosensitive plate, exposing it and thereby revealing the eye movements when the plate was developed. Here they are. You can see how, in a matter of a very short period of time, the eye is in fact rapidly roving around a subject and collecting information at kind of stoppages, movement, stoppage, movement, stoppage. It is in a sense drawing. This is especially noticeable in this face of Nefertiti in profile. The eyes are constantly gathering information, but the brain does not appear to be storing any information for any great length of time, as in photographic memory. What the eyes seem to me to be doing is refreshing information for the brain extremely rapidly, so that if you momentarily forget who is on the left-hand side of the group, the eye rapidly moves over there and refreshes the information, and your brain convinces itself that it is actually storing the information for recall. But in actual fact, it is stitching together the fabric of your momentary vision in an ongoing process. What you are seeing is constantly being refreshed, reconstructed, and refabricated as the eyes move rapidly around a picture, a number of people, a number of faces like this. If you ever really want to know how clearly you can see outside your locus or focus of vision, think of how you don't see your blind spot. How seamlessly the unseeing area of the retina where the optic nerve attaches blends in with your apparent field of vision. Hold up 3 or 4 fingers on your hand and move your hand to your side and hold your fingers at arm's length, way off there, in the periphery of your vision, while you stare straight ahead, perhaps with a single finger held up on your other hand. You probably wouldn't know what little you can see off to the side was in fact a hand if it weren't your own. Notice how you detect movement more than resolution of vision off to the side. You feel an urge to look at that movement. Perhaps millions of years of evolution has you desperate to look at the movement in case it's a predator. Those hand and fingers in your peripheral vision have to be brought very close to the finger you are staring at before you can clearly see how many fingers you are holding up. If a large group of people are before you, take a moment to stare at one face and ask yourself if you can really discern who the other people are. Like the tray of objects, if you just stared at one person, could you really remember who else is behind the vague, blurry faces outside of your locus of vision? I don't think so. But we can convince ourselves we have stored all that information by having the eyes flit rapidly across all faces and convince the brain we see and recall everything in our field of vision. It's really quite a clever way to not tie up vast amounts of limited memory. But it is also a little bit alarming to discover how inferential and assumed our vision, our field of vision, and perhaps even our consciousness actually is.